Right now in my head, I have, like, it's switching like a radio station between Pump It Up from The Substance and Coffee by Chapel Roan, which is one hell of a combination. Two songs with very different vibes. It's just like switching back and forth, back and forth. I love having ADHD. Anyways, let's get back into the game. A piece of paper is sticking out of your mailbox. I think that's supposed to say. Sometimes there's typos in this game, which, like, isn't a great sign, usually, in terms of, like, how, like, thorough the production was, in terms of, like, paying attention to detail and stuff like that. But I get, like, sometimes you're rushing and you don't always catch these things. Anyways, your mailbox. It's a computer printout, a note and a screenshot from Google Maps. It reads, "Meet me at the indicated spot tomorrow at 10 p.m. I'll pick you up and we'll take it from there." No signature. The place marked on the map is the lookout point near Pier 1, just next to the Brooklyn Bridge. Check the phone that Mia passed on to you. No new messages, no missed calls. It's all a bit fishy, but there's only one way to find out who addressed this to you. Looks like tomorrow evening has been planned out for you. Great. You go downstairs as soon as you wake up. One more glance at the phone, but no news from Mia. And take the car down to Brooklyn Park on Front Street and approach the meeting spot cautiously. A figure about Mia's size is standing there, dressed as an oversized jacket and looking just in an oversized jacket, not dressed as an oversized jacket, and looking out towards Manhattan. As you approach, you can hear her muttering something. I'm now between 360 and Pump It Up because I saw there was an intentional Charlie SCX refs in the movie. Yeah, I saw some people talking about how, like, the green of the activator is, like, very purposely, like, brat green. I'm not super familiar with Charlie XCX and her music. I think I have heard a couple of her songs, but not many. Is it true? It is true, but I do not think it's true. If I do not think it's true, then it cannot be true. If it cannot be true, then... I'm supposed to meet somebody here. Hey, I'm meeting somebody here tonight. I don't suppose that would be you. Oh, she didn't think of that, lol. But the Pump It Up poster of Sue is based on a Charlie poster. I didn't know that, yeah. I confess, I didn't make that connection on my own. It was in a video essay, or a very mini video essay, about The Substance. Margaret clearly said she listened to a bunch of Charlie to get into the vibe for Sue. Yeah, I could see that. The woman turns around. It's not Mia. Whoever it is, you've never seen her before. She looks perfectly plain and unmemorable. Well, that's a bit rude. Why, yes, it's me. We are meeting now. You are meeting me. I am meeting you. Such a joyous occasion. Oh boy. You turn around. 3 men, all of them burly and threatening, approach you. One of them takes the lead. Oh, is that Sam? So, you got the message. I did. What now? Now? Now you'll come with us. The boss wants to meet you. Kaiser, Callahan, or Torque? Or Torque? You mean Torque? Oh, Callahan. Right. What? You gotta be shitting me. Torque ain't the boss of jack shit. I mean, boss Callahan, you dumbass. It's just good to move on. We've got places to be. Why does he want to meet me? The voice of the woman keeps creeping into your consciousness. The litany of gibberish ever present throughout this entire conversation. The man cracks his knuckles. Or we can do it the hard way. Well, see, you're calling it a trap. So now I'm a little worried that this is a trap. I don't know. I haven't fed recently. probably a bad idea to keep using my powers. I'm probably gonna regret this, but whatever. Agree to go with them. Yeah, okay, I'll go with you. Smart. They lead you down the pier and onto a motorboat. The engine starts. Put this on. He points to a cloth sack. One of the guys is holding you down. The woman is still there, whispering to herself. Somehow, you hear her voice clearly in your head. It becomes a nagging suggestion to put the sack over your head. Don't really want to do it, but your hands go through the motions all the same. It takes 15 or so minutes to reach your destination, you think. The engine dies down and you are led on shore and then further up an incline and through some overgrowth. 10 more minutes of walking until a deep voice reaches your ears. Vincent, my dear boy, why the hood over our guest's face? Well, boss, I thought... No, that will not do. How many times do I have to repeat myself, Vincent? You don't have to think. You have to listen and do what you're told, yes? Yes, boss. Well, take that ridiculous sack off their head, will you? The hood comes off. The owner of the deep voice is a curious sight. Dressed in what can only be described as Victorian clothing, with a monocle and graying red hair. Is this Callahan? Apologies for Vincent's unacceptable behavior. He can be a little thick sometimes. Isn't that right, Vincent? Yeah, boss. Sometimes a little. I believe you already know who I am. You're the Anarch Baron, right? Well, I mean, both of these are true. Your boss, Callahan. Right you are. And I'm guessing you know my role in this city. I represent the Anarch movement, while you... I'm not quite sure what you represent. I have invited you here to find out. Now let me make myself perfectly clear. I am disappointed in you, truly disappointed. But I arranged this meeting to allow you to make... First, though, I have to make sure you understand what your infraction was. So, do you know why you're here? I feel like you're dying to tell me. Because I wanted to meet with Tor. Yes. You're not stupid. So that's a nice change of pace. Torque is the reason you're here. Or that little angry strumpet of his, I'm told, yes? Mia? Oh, how I'd love to get my hands on her gaunt neck and wring it until it breaks. But see, I'm a statesman, and that's not the prudent thing to do. No, indeed, the prudent thing to do is to tolerate both her and that blasted ebony-skinned mentor of hers. Okay. Vibes aren't great. Oh, and it just got worse. It got worse. I should have listened to my instinctive gut reaction. This man's a racist. You folk call yourself Afro-American, correct? Bah. Back in my day, we knew what being American meant, and it sure as hell didn't mean being black. Well, fuck you, damn. Oh, I can't say let me go because I'm, what, too thirsty? Well, that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's probably because I'm angry. I think some dialogue options get blocked off based on, like, certain emotions. Take that shit back or else. You better take that dated shit back, old man, or else. Or else you're going to do what? Exactly. He looks at you with rage in his eyes. And you feel insignificant and vulnerable. An irrational fear takes over you. You cannot speak up against this man again. You just can't. He's too terrifying. Now that I have your full attention, I will request something from you, and you will obey me to the letter. But that comes later. First, you will answer a few questions. The first of which is, who pointed you to Mia? Crap. Well, this isn't good. The whole thing's gone tits up. So Mia sold me out. Why? Because I didn't pin down the informant well enough, or just because she was going to anyways. Well, Sophie told me not to use her name until I get to talk to Torque, so it's probably a bad idea. I don't know. Alright, you know what? Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Nobody, it was my idea. Oh, really? What was your intention behind the meeting? I needed her help with something. Oh, come now, you'll have to be more specific than that. I need to know exactly what it was that you discussed. I wanted her to explain the Anarchs to me. I just wanted to learn about the Anarchs, so I asked her about the movement. Technically, that is true. Oh, child, you should have come to me then. I'm the Anarch movement in New York City, and nobody makes a secret out of that. You bet on the wrong horse, as I'm sure you'll soon learn. See, this is like, it feeds into that whole thing about the Anarchs being like full of shit. Because like, this guy, well, I mean, first of all, there's the fact that like the Anarchs aren't supposed to have like leaders in the first place, because that's the whole point of the Anarchs, and he considers himself like the Baron of the Anarchs or whatever. And then there's also the fact that this guy's a racist, and that completely goes against like everything like the Anarchs are supposed to, in theory, stand for. They just care about like rebellion and revolution for revolution's sake. See, that wasn't hard. That wasn't hard, now was it? Of course, I can't be sure how much of what you told me was true, and how much of it is worth about as much as yesternight's horseshit. But I'll find out. I always do. When I do, we'll have another one of these nice talks. And maybe, just maybe, you'll avoid this upcoming unpleasant episode next time. He gives Vince a sign, and the burly man starts hitting you all over. You feel teeth, ribs, fingers break. Your foot is mangled under Vince's boot. Your shoulder dislocated. Your nose wrecked. Yikes. That's enough, Vincent. Leave them be. He snaps his fingers in front of your face a few times and checks if you can focus on his face. You can, but barely. I'm a man of principle. Another night, I'd perhaps put you in a casket dipped in concrete and dump it in the Hudson. A favorite of mine during the Roaring Twenties. It's been a while. But like I mentioned before, I'm nothing but prudent, and so the interests of this city's kindred must come before my own needs and wants. I will therefore let you continue your existence. Here's what I require in return for this boon. You are forbidden to meet Torque. I will keep an eye on him. If you want a place with the Anarchs, you go through me and only me. You got it? You have to understand, what I made my associates do to you tonight was just business. We can still work out a mutually beneficial relationship. In fact, it's either that or your final death. Hell, for fuck's sake. Time to go, Vincent. Take the boat back. Leave the fledgling here. I think they have a lot to think about. Sure thing, boss. Pleasure making your acquaintance. Great. We're really hungry now. Callahan walks away, as do Vince and his band of thugs. You lie on the ground for a while longer, feeling the blood slowly putting your body back together, your hunger growing. You can hear the beast calling for sustenance, for safety, for revenge, a distant but pronounced third desire. And it's not until you mend yourself enough to appear more as a mugging victim than an impossibly mangled walking cadaver that you hail a passing taxi and head back to your haven. You give the driver your address and pass out. The darkness greets you. Some time passes, you think. You feel somebody shaking you. You open your eyes. It's the driver. You think he's asking you if you're all right. His words change to a muffled shout. He goes silent. Oh, great. You think he tastes great as a tired, caffeine-pumped taxi driver with high cholesterol can taste. Warm blood pours down your throat and flows to your limbs, mending them. He's growing cold, but you still do not have control. You are still observing, not acting. Your body is not yours. The beast is in charge. Oh boy. Okay, we gotta regain control. That's enough. No, it's not. I said that's enough. It will never be enough. Enough. You break away from the man. He's dazed but conscious. He groggily says something about feeling tired. You leave the money on the driver's seat and let him rest in the back. The 4 familiar walls of your haven are a blessing. The beast inside you keeps nagging, but you have reined it in tonight. Not a small feat, given your state. You are still weak. You're still not quite mended. You need to rest. Tomorrow you will have to feed again. Tomorrow you will have to consider your next move. Yeah, I think we need to talk to Sophie and be like, so everything's gone to shit. Like, I need your help. Callahan is not the kind of man who quits, but tonight you rest. Yeah, okay. Figured. Waking up tonight feels different for 2 reasons. For one, you are pleasantly surprised that your body mended reasonably well while you were resting. It comes with a caveat, though. The hunger you feel is pronounced, the beast like a black dog on the edge of your vision following you. But what is truly remarkable is waking up to the tune of an old cell phone ringtone. An unknown number is calling the phone you got from Mia. You pick up. Kept that old thing charged after all, huh? You alright? No, actually, I feel like shit. Look, that's too bad, but I don't really care. I was just being polite. I'm calling with good news. Torque has agreed to meet you. There is a pub in the Bronx, Solids and Stripes. Be there tonight. 2 things. No drinking on the premises, so if you want to grab a snack, do it before setting foot in the borough. And this is an exclusively no-powers meeting. We'll be rubbing shoulders with commoners the whole evening. And we also don't trust you, so keep it casual or you'll blow it. Anything you'd like to add? Did you sell me out? If you're to meet, I need you to offer me protection from Callahan. I met him yesterday. He kicked my ass and forbade me from meeting Torque. Silence on the line. Fuck. More silence. I can't promise you any protection on your way there or back, but at the pub you'll be in Torque's domain. For all his posturing, Callahan doesn't have the balls to strike Torque directly. We'll post additional lookouts on watch. That's the best I can do. If Callahan got under your skin, I get it. I was in that spot once or twice too. All I've got to say is the risk is worth it. If you don't show tonight, I won't blame you. It's a one-time offer only. You gotta hedge your bets. Just don't do anything stupid. You meet with us tonight, it better be in good faith. She ends the call. First things first, you take the subway to York Street Station. Walk to Front Street, retrieve your car, and weigh your options while driving back to your haven. Go to the meeting directly, drive around before going to the meeting, or tell Sophie you can't meet with Torque. Nah, I don't know. Okay, well, we gotta feed if we're going to go to the meeting because we can't feed on the premises. Seeing opportunity and trust your intuition. You've been doing this for a few good nights. You're getting a feel for it. You're learning what kind of predator you are and what kinds of blood you crave. You're so caught up in yesterday's problems and in this cloak and dagger debacle you're now a part of that the hunt feels almost automatic and casual tonight. A fragment of you surrenders control. Just minutes after you find your victim, coax them, and drink from them, you find you've forgotten their face and how they were dressed. Oof. It only hits you once you look back at yourself in your car's rearview mirror. This was wrong. You can't let this become the norm. You hurt somebody, a human being. You're a monster. You need to stay mindful of this. You're a monster, but unless you let yourself off the hook, you can hold on to your humanity and not let yourself slide down this spiral. Instead of clearing your mind, this clouded it further, and you are still no closer to a decision. I don't know. I don't know, because that's the thing is, I don't know if Sophie's gonna protect me. Like, she said she was going to. She said she had to. But I don't know. Alright, let's just try this then. Let's go to the meeting. Alright. Dangerous or not, you have to make the trip to the Bronx to meet with Torque. No detours, best just get it over with. You take some basic precautions as you enter Torque's turf. You park a few streets over from where the pub is and walk towards it while keeping an eye out for anyone suspicious. That kindred, for most part, look no different than regular people, makes things complicated, of course. If you're being followed or watched, it's going to be hard to tell. You reach the pub, shoot a final glance around. There's nobody suspicious around as far as you can see, and open the door. Let's hope this works out. The smell of cigarettes is overwhelming. The whole place has an aura about it, a constant fog hanging right under the ceiling. The lethargic fans do nothing to disperse it. The constant crack of billiard balls and clinking of glasses tells you all you need to know about the clientele. Not a very vampiric place at all. You're wondering if you got the address right. You apparently did. Mia's here. She motions you over to one of the few tables around. Took your sweet time to get here. What, got cold feet? Never mind. Anyone follow you? Not that I know of. Fair enough. Before I introduce you, there's some outstanding business to discuss. You didn't prove very helpful at the bar. Harold, the bartender, mentioned that you made an effort, but as you can imagine, there's plenty of licks who use feminine pronouns in the city. Yeah, but what about the name Sam? Doesn't that narrow it down some? Still, I'll take whatever I can get, so thanks for that, I guess. Come on, Torque's right there. You walk toward one of the tables. A guy in a coat and a hat leans over to take his shot. He's way ahead of his opponent. The table is clear of his balls, save for the 8-ball in a tricky position. Hey, they're here. Should I do Southern again? I haven't done Southern in a while, just for Kadir. Be with you in just a moment. The hit is fast, precise, and sends the black ball exactly where its player wanted it. His opponent lets out a frustrated sigh. That's that, I believe. That's that. I believe that's 150 American dollars, Joey. You want to pay up now or up the stakes again? The disgruntled man accepts his defeat and pays up, then declares he's going to grab another beer. To the victor go the spoils, thank you kindly. He turns his full attention to you. The man is good-looking, somewhat gaunt and intense. His eyes especially seem to pierce right through to your core, but not in an unpleasant way. Name's Tor. I believe you're Ash, Sophie Langley's new plaything, is that right? How does everybody always know that? You Anarchs too? How does everybody always know that? Word travels fast when you care to listen, fledgling. We wouldn't be talking tonight if I hadn't learned that a long time ago. Forgive me being real with you right off the bat, but I'd like to know who it is I'm dealing with. So here's something that I've been scratching my head about. If you're with Langley, and Langley's cam through and through, I'm told, what is it you've come to accomplish here tonight? Isn't this game set in New York? Yeah, it is. Is your next question, why do you keep doing Southern accents? Yeah. I don't know, because it's the only accent that doesn't sound like my own that I feel like I can sort of do to like spice things up and create some variety. And I can't do a New Yorker accent, as we've established last stream. The truth is, Sophie wants to meet with you. I don't think it serves to lie now, but I don't know, we might be in a little bit of trouble because I did slightly mislead Mia. Sophie Langley wants to meet with you. Don't ask why, she didn't tell me. She just said it has something to do with gathering allies against Boss Callahan. I'm here to arrange that meeting. The fuck? I knew nothing about this, T. They lied to me. Mia's furious. She's looking at the pool cue and you as if she was figuring out the best combination for the two. It's fine. I appreciate the honesty. Even if you weren't straight with my second in command. That I don't appreciate. Well, ain't that an interesting proposition? You can't seriously be thinking about meeting with Langley. She's hardline cam. It's a trap. It must be. It just might be. It just might. He looks at you, pierces you with his unnaturally keen eyes. He's about to say something when a door opens at the back of the room. Oh shit. Hey, Torg, you, got a guest. They're in the back. Mia, won't you be a dear and keep our new friend company? I'll see what the commotion is. Sure thing. Torg tips his hat to you and walks to the back, joining the man who called for him. I don't have good feelings about this. This seems like an ambush. Mia glowers at you, this time weighing one of the pool balls in her hand. She looks like she has half a mind to chuck it at your face. You gotta be quite happy with yourself, bluffing your way in here. It's not just Sophie I'm here for. Sorry I had to be this way, or hey, whatever works. I don't know if I want to be a part of the Anarchs, because, like, in theory, on paper, like, they seem good, but they can be kind of, exploity and hypocritical and full of shit. Is there a single Vampire the Masquerade faction that doesn't suck? I don't think so. Which is maybe there's something to be said about factions in there. And then there's the Sabbat and Bloodlines, who are somehow even worse. Or at least that's what we're told. Maybe it is better just to, like, be on your own. Sorry it had to be this way. I wish I did this differently, but it is what it is. I'm not proud of myself. You shouldn't be. You make me look like a chump in front of Tor. Here I was beginning to think you might make a good addition to our little family. There's a lot of trust you'll have to regain before that happens now. Torque appears from a door at the back and calls across the room. Yo, Mia, can I grab you for a second? Ash, get over here too. You go to the back room. It's basically a storage area with a single wooden desk. It's pretty cramped, especially considering there's 5 other people in there with you. Torg ushers you in and closes the door behind you and Mia. 2 burly dudes are holding somebody down. A familiar voice reaches your ears. Oh, it's Vince. Hi, Vince. Motherfuckers. You're gonna pay for this, you hear me? The boss is gonna fuck you up so bad you have no idea. Have you the doubtful pleasure of meeting Mr. Surety before, Ash? You could say that. You're fucked. You're so fucked you don't even know it, you stupid piece of shit. I should have ended you yesterday. The boss told you to stay away. You should have listened. That's a story and a half, ain't it? Vince, calm down now, and tell me how many of your guys are still out there on my turf, See, I think the southern accent actually does work well for him because he says ain't, and other things that seem to, like, suggest a leaning towards a potential southern accent. Go fuck yourself, you're done. The boss will know this stupid piece of shit fledgling came here. He knows they're with Langley. You know what that means, Torque. No, I don't. What does it mean, Vince? Now the boss can wipe you out. He'll just say you're sucking Langley's tits and all those buddies of yours gone. You're done, Torque. Well, let's hope not. Well now, if that's the case, I guess Rin, New York City, your toady ass won't make things any worse, will it? Actually, there's an idea. Vince mentioned that he beat you up yesterday. Did I hear that right, Ash? You want to repay the favor? Gladly. If I'm allowed to, yeah, sure. Go right ahead. I could stake Vince or hurt Vince a lot. I mean, staking him actually isn't going to kill him because it's going to drive him into torpor. It makes you more vulnerable. See, I've lost my train of thought, sorry. It makes you more vulnerable, so you can be killed permanently. I think you need, like, fire or decapitation for that. Some New Yorkers use ain't for sure, but I think it might be demographically and dialectically dependent, like in AV. Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. I'm not super familiar with American dialects, and I'm also not super familiar with New Yorker accents. I think the only like Boston accent I'm familiar with is like Eliza Dushku, who plays Faith in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, has like a slight like tinge of it, and you can hear it slip sometimes when she delivers some of her lines in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, especially in season 3. But that didn't give me enough to like listen to it enough times to try and mimic it. Also, my vocal cords are just bad at doing accents, as we have established. Okay, so I kind of want to try sticking Vince. It might be a bad idea, though. We're only allowed to beat him up, though, I think. So maybe if we go overboard, we might be in trouble. Yeah, let's just hurt Vince a lot. You hit Vince once, twice. He's chuckling in the beginning, but you focus your blood for some extra oomph and keep hitting him again, more, until he stops laughing. He's bruised, battered, and broken. The two Anarch dudes let go of him and you kick him some more while he's on the floor. You only stop when you hear Torque's voice. Enough's enough, Ash. He takes an old pole cue and breaks it over his knee. Okay, yeah, so he's gonna stake him. Stake him and take him downstairs. Let's keep Callahan guessing about what happened to his favorite puppy. See, being a part of the Anarchs, like, it always makes you feel good. Like, at least in the beginning. Like, when you're having, like, moments like this that make you feel like you're a part of a community, like, people have got your back, it feels good. But then there's always, like, the other shoe that might drop. Or, like, in Swan Song especially, it's like, they're just all really shitty. Like, the Anarchs in Swan Song are all just, like, really, really shitty people. Mia takes the sharp piece of wood and jams it into Vince's chest. His features grow slack, his entire body inert. He doesn't even give out a yelp. The other two Anarchs take him out of the room. As entertaining as that was, I think Vince, in his unmatched wisdom, shared more than Callahan would hope for. This changes things. Ever heard about Operation Lights Out, Ash? It was a Second Inquisition effort here in NYC. A single night of raids at a magnitude never seen before, or since. The Ivory Tower just got away with just a few losses here and there. No major players were hit. They managed to find safe spots and stay out of the eye of the shitstorm. Us, though, we got hit hard, all over town. Havens were rooted out, entire coteries and safe houses gone. Just like that. Nobody saw it coming. I barely got out in one piece. Mia looks at him with concern and puts a hand on his arm. He shrugs it off, gently but surely. Others like my child, Bar, or Mia Sar, extinguished. But you know who got out without a scratch? Callahan. Ain't this deaf present in strong Boston accents, I think, yeah. That's definitely true, I think, yeah. Remembering Ben Affleck in that one movie. I'm not sure which one movie you're referring to, but, like, I'm sure it's funny. I'm trying to, like, zero in on the image of Ben Affleck and try and remember which movies I've seen him in, because I must have seen him in something, but I'm not sure what. Hard to say. They all kind of blend together. And by they, I mean white men. Specifically, like, recurring white male actors. I don't even remember the movie, except that he was doing a Boston accent, which was really funny. That is funny. He is from Boston, but somehow his accent sounded bad. Yeah. Also, you got Harley Quinn, right? I can't believe I forgot about Harley Quinn. She is meant to have a Boston accent. Yeah, I don't think anyone... I mean, not that I'm in any position to be throwing stones, but I don't know if anyone ever actually does it, like, successfully. Who's to say? We've thought about it for the past few years. How has that big B managed to excuse himself from the Staten Island Museum where we used to meet, just before vans full of guys in body armor show up? In the original Batman animated series, she has a good one. I've never seen that, but maybe I should, yeah. How is it that my baby's burning up after being shot with incendiary rounds? I see Doug Callahan running with his tail between his legs, pushing fledglings like you in the path of the SI. Margot Robbie does it but not really. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm really not in a position to judge what a Boston accent is supposed to sound like, but yeah. We think the bastard knew what was coming, and he set us up, just not just us. Some of our brothers and sisters who got hit had some of the lowest profiles in the city's population. Moral of the story, Callahan is an opportunistic motherfucker. And if even his thickest followers suggest he's gonna sell me out, then that's what he's gonna do, as sure as the sun rises. He pauses for a moment and you see him reach a decision. You said something about Langley having an offer for me. It might be your fault in part that I'm at this juncture, but now's going to be as good a time as any to listen to what she has to say. I don't think that's wise, T. What would you have me do then? You said it yourself. It's all this fledgling's fault. They brought this on us, so let's use them as a bargaining chip. Callahan wants them, Langley needs them, they're valuable. What the fuck, Mia? I can't really say what the fuck, Mia, because, like, I did kind of screw her over. I mean, like, lightly screwed her over. I misled her. It wasn't that bad. Me valuable? I'm just upon her. I'm sorry, but don't sell me out. Guys, I'm sorry it turned out this way. I really am. I'm just a messenger in this. Don't throw me under the bus. That's just it. CT, they're just a messenger. What if this whole thing was planned? What if Langley is looking to score brownie points with the prince and this is all a setup? If that's the case, then we're beyond the point of no return anyway. So what if Callahan wants this fledgling? He wants us out of the picture. He'll find a reason. If not tonight, then soon. Mia, I understand your concern, but I need you to trust me like you did before. This is my call and my responsibility. You can give me shit about it later, like I'm sure you will. Count on it. He smiles, then takes on a no bullshit look and points at you. 3 conditions. First, you come pick me up personally and bring me the meeting spot. Anything goes sideways, it's your ass. Second, Mia's coming with me. No two ways about it. 8 eyeballs in the meeting. The 2 of you, the 2 of us, nobody else. And third, the meeting is in public, downtown, some spot frequented by mortals. We see you take us anywhere fishy, we check out and fuck you up as a message to Langley. I count on it not coming to that, though. You seem likable enough. The cam hasn't got its talons in you yet. Keep it up, and maybe you'll come to the same conclusion we did in your own time. I doubt it's dangerous being an anarch. I mean, it's dangerous in any situation. It's dangerous being a part of the Camarilla. It's dangerous being on your own. It's just always dangerous. I don't know if I want to say I'll wait and see, because that makes me sound kind of opportunistic and scummy. I'll make sure to repeat your conditions to Sophie. You do that. Best be on your way. Ask for me here when you need me. The bartender knows how to get in touch. Just ask him to put the owner on the line. Mia walks you to the door and accompanies you to your car. Listen, about what I said before. Yeah, what about it? I panicked. That's all that was. It was unfair what I said. If anything, it's my fault. I'm angry with myself, and that makes me angry with you. No, it's fine. It's entirely valid for her to be upset. We did mislead her. She had every right to feel betrayed. Ah, forget it. See ya. She starts walking back to the bar as soon as you start the engine, and head back to Sophie's apartment. Time to give Sophie the good news. She welcomes you as openly as ever, clearly excited to see you and for what news you might bring. Good evening, Ash. How is your task going? You have something for me, perhaps? It's done, but there'll be trouble. Dare you ask, the meeting is set up. I suggest we take advantage of it quickly, though. There's gonna be trouble. Trouble? What trouble? Well, all of these are true, but... Boss Callahan's goons grabbed me yesterday and forced me to meet with him. He was very clear that I cannot be seen talking to Torg, or he'll have me killed. I went and did it anyway. I appreciate your dedication. I really do. I'm sorry if you got hurt. Thank you for following through. Well, let's hear it. What did Torg agree to? You array the Anarch leader's conditions. You are to pick him and me up. The meeting should only include the four of you, and it should be held in a public space. Those are all fair enough. Although, I do worry about that Mia character. Tell me, do you think she's trustworthy? I mean, she apologized for trying to sell me out. Torg trusts her. She's fine for an Anarch. She seems fine, I guess. Well, Torg trusts her, so we can too, I think. Very well. As for the place, I wonder if they would agree to meeting in the Hudson Yards. The vessel. Plenty of tourists visit that place, but if we go there after midnight... She seems to have made up her mind. Yes, bring them there tomorrow night. Look for me near the top level. Sophie, you better not be planning to fuck me over. You better not be making me party to a betrayal, because I'm gonna be very upset if that's the case. Just do not trust this woman. Like, God, like, she's so hot, but I cannot trust her. What's so important that you can't just send him a letter or something? You'll be there to find out. Pick them up at midnight. Then drive back to Midtown. That's the plan. I'll be waiting as long as it takes, within reason. I'm counting on you, Ash. The final puzzle piece is about to find its way to its destination. After that, we will all get our just reward. You, me, the Camarilla, even the Anarchs. Me when a hot woman wants me on her side. Okay, she did all this shit, but I guess she's okay. I can trust her, right? Yeah, literally. I mean, in fairness, I could kiss you. Yes, you'd like that. You desire it. In all fairness, she hasn't actually done anything to directly betray me yet, I don't think. She just... The vibes. It's the vibes. I have this feeling in my gut that I can't trust her, because she did flat out say, like, if you, like, screw me over, or, like, if you embarrass me, then I'm gonna, like, basically sell you down the river and, like, scapegoat you. Because you owe me. Because your life belongs to me. Like that was basically the speech. But I guess she hasn't really done anything to directly, like, betray me yet. She must have caught it in your expression. She smiles. A vigorous speech, darling. Or at least it is tonight. But a few nights from now, who knows? I am growing fond of you, and success whets my appetite for these kinds of things. The sexual tension in the room becomes unbearable until it suddenly disappears. Was this another one of Sophie's tricks, or a natural spark of arousal in both of your undead bodies? You certainly felt the blood flow through you for a short moment. The warmth in your groin takes you by surprise. You didn't think you could do that anymore, or did you just imagine it? Yeah, that's the thing. Is she, like, using presents on us to make us feel that way? Or, I mean, I'd assume it's genuine, because... Use the rest of this night well, Ash. Rest and rest. We are but a day's sleep away from shaking this city awake. Alright, it looks like we're halfway through the night, so we can probably do one more thing. We don't have time for this, but I will meet with the reporter again to try and wrap this up. A Nosy Reporter, Part 3. I think I read this already, but Frank Doherty, a shining example of journalistic excellence, is trying to get in touch with you. This can't mean anything good. You're just leaving your haven when you notice a small note slipped under your door. You pick it up cautiously and fold it open. Oh crap. I know what you are. I know everything. Meet me at the Beautiful View Motel or everyone else will know too. The note is signed Frank. Cursing under your breath, you check the Beautiful View Motel. It's located in Queens. Getting there will take some time, and something in Frank's note suggests urgency. You run out of the apartment. We're gonna have to kill him. This man does not quit. Stepping into the Beautiful View Motel, you can't help but think that the name makes promises that the building fails to deliver. Outside, there's nothing but an ugly parking lot, empty, the paint marking the parking spaces almost completely worn away. Standing in the lobby, it feels like there's decades worth of stale cigarette smoke. You're happy not being able to breathe anymore. The furniture looks like it was picked up from a yard sale in the 60s. There is something appropriate in the grubbiness of the surroundings. They fit the image you have of Frank perfectly. It's appropriate to find him in a place like this. You nod to the old woman manning the reception desk. She seems totally uninterested in what you're doing. Her eyes glued to the small TV perched on the desk, a cop show. Walking deeper into the motel, you find a lounge that might have aspired to a kind of lavish comfort in its glory days. Now it just feels sticky, like you need to wash your clothes afterwards. Frank sits on a bar stool. There's no bartender, but Frank has a shot glass in his hand. He looks even sweatier than usual. Great. What voice was I doing for him? I think I was just like radically all over the place. What's up, asshole? How does it feel not to know everything? You stop and look at Frank a little closer. He seems drunk. Not a good sign. Despite everything in your earlier encounters, he maintained a baseline of professionalism. Should I try and be nice now? Because, like, threatening him didn't work? There's no call for this. Before it was all business, not personal. You understand that. Oh, it's not personal. You just like pushing me around, fucker. You stop to consider what to do. You're not used to dealing with Frank in a mood like this. He seems more confident and depressed at the same time, as if he had a secret that gives him power, but also brought him down. Let's talk, Frank. You asked me to come here, so I'm guessing you have a proposal to make. Sure I do. I have friends, you know. I'm not just a nobody you can pick on. Your Sophie Langley is nothing compared to these guys. Frank sounds like he has plenty more bitterness inside him waiting to come out. Love bold, nasally dweeb voice. Yeah, I decided I'm doing Germ's voice for him, like Germ from Night in the Woods. It's like the one constant throughout every Night in the Woods playthrough. I swear everyone, I think I was mentioning this when I was streaming it, everyone voices Germ the exact same way when they play Night in the Woods. It's so goddamn funny. We all just collectively decided that is what this, like, dorky little, I don't even remember what animal he is, bird creature looks like. That is what he sounds like. Frank sounds like he has plenty more bitterness inside him waiting to come out. Let me tell you something else. An ear-splitting sound fills the lounge and bright flash blinds you. Oh Christ. Oh Christ, does he know people, like, in the Inquisition? Does he know the sad Catholics? An ear-splitting sound fills the lounge, and a bright flash blinds you. For a second, irrational panic grips your dead heart. Is this sunshine? Or are you going to burn to death in a cheap motel in Queens? As your vision adjusts, something whizzes past you. There's a series of thunking sounds, something impacting the bar. Frank is lifting the shot glass, miraculously still in his hand. A massive blood stain spreads across his shirt. Oh, the sad Catholics, they're back. They might be. For a bizarre, incongruous moment, you stare at the thing sticking out of Frank's chest. It's a crossbow bolt. Oh yeah, I think it's the sad Catholics, but they hit Frank in the process of trying to hit me because he didn't get out of the way, and they don't care about human casualties because they're assholes. It's a crossbow bolt. Another two lie shattered next to the bar, having missed their targets. One missed you by a hair's breadth. Turning around, you see figures dressed in black tactical gear. Yep. Storming into the room in eerie silence. Perhaps the flashbang damaged your ears. They drop their tactical crossbows and lift up rifles. Who comes prepared with a crossbow? Frank slumps to the floor. A wooden crossbow bolt will paralyze a vampire, but it struck through a human heart, it kills. The scent of blood fills the air. Fight the assailants or make a run for it. Okay, let's think about this. They all have guns. We don't know how many of them there are, but there are probably a bunch. We could use our powers to make a run for it. But, like, we don't have, like, a celerity marker beside this, so I don't know. I just feel like it's a bad idea to try and fight, like, several trained soldiers, basically, with guns. Like, we're not entirely invincible. I'm gonna make a run for it. You're facing a highly trained force of well-armed commandos. There's only one thing to do: run away. You don't even stop to think, just follow your reflexes as you duck behind the bar and dive through a staff door as bullets hit the wall next to you. Fortunately, the blessings of blood don't care whether you're being brave or a coward. The blood speeds up your body as you rush through the back room, past the empty beer kegs and the half-full boxes of liquor bottles. Spotting a back door, you burst outside into the night. Running around the corner of the building, you see 4 SUVs parked by the motel's front door, all black with tinted windows. A man and woman middle-aged, dressed like detectives, stare at you in surprise as you run past them. One tries to yell something as you stumble to your car, wrench the door open, and turn the ignition. God, I'm gonna have, like, tons of them after me now, though. For a terrifying moment, you fumble with the keys, but then the car starts and you floor it, careening into the highway. You run into Sophie's building, past the surprised-looking doorman. Time is of the essence. Oh fuck, Sophie's gonna be pissed. You pound on the door of Sophie's apartment, more for the sake of your own nerves than because you think it's any help. After a few moments, Sophie herself opens the door and looks at you in surprise. She doesn't have her makeup on, and her hair is disheveled. You've caught her on a night off. What happened to you? As you step into the apartment and follow Sophie to her living room, you see the remnants of a party. Empty glasses, a faint smell of blood in the air. You have no time to contemplate Sophie's social life, however. It was an ambush. They were prepared. You're compromised. Oh, fuck. For a moment, Sophie's facade cracks. She looks tired. Then she rallies herself. Sit down and stay calm. Sit down and stay calm. I'll check whether this apartment is still secure. You sit down, suddenly conscious of the vast gulf in experience between you and Sophie. She's managed to stay alive for a very long time and knows how to survive. You only hope that you'll survive along with her. For the next hour or so, you sit on Sophie's sofa, answering minute questions about Frank and the commandos who assaulted you. At intervals, she makes murmuring phone calls to mysterious contacts. After a longer while, Sophie lets you go. You should be safe, and more importantly, I should be safe too. I've taken measures to secure both our havens, but keep your eyes open nonetheless. You leave Sophie's apartment wondering whether you'd survive another ambush like this. Well, at least I didn't die, and I don't think Sophie sold me out, which is good. And I think that's the end of that. Probably could have handled that better, but oh well. C'est la vie. And that's it. I think this is our final night we're about to enter into, and then we're done. So I don't have time to do faith and myth, unfortunately. Dang. Yeah, I was curious about the religious guy who contacted me randomly and asked me to meet him at a church. I thought that could be interesting, but that's something to do in another playthrough. I highly recommend playing this though, because like you don't get to see all of the content like on all in one go. When will Sophie kiss me though? That is a good question. I don't know if Sophie's ever going to kiss us, but one can only hope. You wake up. This is not your haven. It's a cramped space. You try to move your arms and find they are tied to your body. You can barely bend your legs. When you try to stretch your neck, you hit a cold ceiling. You can't quite believe it, but this is a coffin, or something close enough to it. It vibrates slightly, but you can't hear any sounds coming from outside. It's entirely dark. Let's use aspects. Sharpen your senses. You focus and divert your blood to boost your senses. You begin to deduce some details. The vibrations mean you're in some kind of transport, maybe a car. You can just hear the suggestion of an engine's hum. The cold interior is metal for sure. More sounds that you try to focus on. A male voice, indistinct. The crackle of a radio, the brakes of the car, an impact. The container jostles about. The car door opens violently. You hear a gun being cocked, a panicked scream. Oh, yep, it's an SI soldier. Operation compromised, engaging blank bodies. A deafening shot rings in your ears. I didn't think the SI people... I guess I'm just in a regular coffin. Because I guess they do that. They transport vampires in coffins. Dazed, you return your senses to their normal levels. The ringing continues. The lid comes off. What the... We'll all be damned. The shifty fucker delivered the goods. Yeah, D'Angelo and Hope came to my side because I finished their quest lines. At Braloff 27239. You're trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us and that asshole over there. We gotta scram, and fast. Follow us. Seeing their faces is surprising, even more so in these circumstances. However, you realize the immediate danger and follow your companions out of the car and down a street in North Bronx. The van has crashed into another car. A familiar face, that of Kaiser's ghoul, Jackie, stumbles out of the wrecked sedan and slinks away into the darkness before you can call after him. The three of you jog away toward the line of trees and take shelter under some branches just as you hear a chopper approaching. Its searchlight illuminates the wrecked van and moves towards you. Lay low. D'Angelo does his disappearing trick and vanishes from sight. You look to Hope, but she's not there. You haven't seen any movement, just the tree she leaned against a scant few seconds ago. Yeah, she can turn invisible too, because that's a Malkavian skill and a Nosferatu skill. Obfuscate. You're left alone with just seconds to make your move before the spotlight finds you. Hide behind the closest tree, dive under a nearby bush, or celerity dash deeper into the park. I don't know if just running further into the park is a good idea, because if they see me, then they're gonna, like, want to go in further, and, like, yeah. But I don't know, maybe that'll provide me with more cover? Hard to say. If they see me dive into under a bush, then, like, then I'm gonna get shot, so I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that this works out. I think I'm gonna dive under a nearby bush. Being no better option, you find the nearest bush and dive right under it. It's probably not the best or smartest thing to do, but you have to trust your gut. Rude game. Okay. The illumination passes only inches away from you, but it's just a pattern of light on the ground. The trees block a good portion of it. It doesn't dwell on you. It doesn't seem like they spotted you or any of your companions. The helicopter flies on, its searchlight frantically moving through the vicinity as your companions once again appear in your proximity. Nice job, kid. They seem to be moving on. Come on, before these SI fucks change their mind. Do you ever tell me what's going on? Wait here, both of you. Hope, fill them in. They seem to mostly use they, them pronouns for my character, but occasionally use he, him pronouns. So that's interesting. At hope_portrait_3 .png. Your life up to this point, everything you knew, it was a highly advanced VR simulation. Welcome to the real world. Your blank stare is what makes her crack. No, actually, the SI, First Flight in this case, I think, raided your haven and took you in. They were just transporting you out of town. Kaiser told us which route they'd take. How did the SI know where I live? Wait, how did the SI know where I lived? Bienware. Messed up your security? Next time, keep your antivirus software up to date. Avoid questionable websites and only download software from trustworthy sources. I think Sophie sold me out. That's the only reasonable explanation, because she literally said that she was gonna, get, higher security and make sure both our havens were secure after what happened, and then look what happened. So, either Sophie screwed up or she deliberately sold me out. Game? Really? This is what you're doing? Yeah, when the game literally judges you through, the internal monologue. Life is Strange does that sometimes, too. When Max's internal monologue is ugh, Max, there's no time to, blah, 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 you gotta get out of here. Or, Max, you know you're clumsy, don't waste your rewind, just use the damn chair. It's funny. It's funny. I love it when games get meta like that. Hey, I saw Kaiser pull up. Come on, time to blow this joint. I keep bouncing back and forth between Kaiser and Kaiser because I'm not sure which one it is. I think I'm just gonna say Kaiser from now on. Kaiser's familiar car stops nearby and the black door opens. Your allies usher you inside and join you. Being inside this mobile fortress never felt like a relief until now. But yeah, he trusts me because of the favors I did for him. Hey, fledgling. Miss me? No, not really, but I will say this. I'm glad that you're here. Well, I'm not overly fond of breaking licks out of covert SI transports, so I consider this an investment. You are here now only because I told your buddies that you were neck deep in shit. That van you were in, a one-way ticket to Hurtville, Pennsylvania. I broke you out as a favor. Now you owe me. Big. Hope snorts. What's so funny, Jester? Hurtville, Pennsylvania? Oh, I didn't even read Pennsylvania. I read Pennsylvania. What? You like it? Aegis Scum. Yeah, it's literally the funniest thing I've ever heard. Is there a Usenet where you workshop these bits with other ancient demons? Can I get in? Everyone's a critic. How the hell did you know SI broke into my haven and took me away? Is that a piss-poor attempt at an insult, fledgling? I've kept my eyes on you ever since you did that little job you did for me in Nolita. You know, in case I needed you for something else. I had to know your comings and goings. Guess the rumors are true. The old fart is surprisingly good at keeping up with the information flow in this city, despite his age. Probably in the top 3. Gee, thanks, sugar. To be fair, you're probably in the top 10. He grins with what you assume is a lecherous smile. Hope seems only momentarily insulted by the top 10 remark. I have a good idea why the SI hit you, Ash. Not that there aren't tons of good reasons for it. It might have been one of these, for instance. The screens in Kaiser's car flicker, and each of them now shows a short looped clip. It's you getting into a fight, feeding, using one of your powers. Whoops! Whoopsie daisies! Yeah, I've been like big time using my powers in public, in front of witnesses. I didn't even think about that. But the thing is, like, Auspex doesn't have like any kind of like visual like proof, right? Because it's just you honing your senses. Like celerity I can understand, but like all the other stuff I don't really know if they have a record of that or anything they could prove. And I don't think I use celerity in public that often, only when I was like in danger. I don't know. And most of the time when I fed in public, I tried not to like be seen, but I guess I wasn't that this week. Whoopsie daisies. Not age a scum. Dennis Quaid's character from The Substance, is that you? Yeah, literally. This is just him in Nosferatu form. This is him as a vampire. Oh no, the consequences of my actions! I know, right? Don't you just hate it when your actions have consequences? You haven't exactly kept a low profile, fledgling. I get it. You're new to this. You didn't know better. Yada yada yada. The fact is, SI has tons of this stuff. Security camera footage. The YouTube videos posted by onlookers, social media posts from victims, you name it. Like I said, I didn't think any one of these did you in. I don't think any one of these did you in. Slip-ups happen. Not to you though, right? I always wondered, how is it that you can drive a pompously luxurious limo around NYC and not get caught? What's your secret? Body doubles? Decoy cars? Kaiser smiles, going for the anthropomorphic piranha look you saw a few times before. You do know what killed the cat, don't you, Mr. Finch? D'Angelo freezes and scratches his face, looking fiercely at the other Nosferatu. You notice that his hands are shaking. Well, do you? Stop shedding on the upholstery and answer. Or should I use your given name too? Yeah, I know why the cat croaked. You would, wouldn't you? You've never seen D'Angelo serve anyone a death stare, quite like the one he's shooting Kaiser now. As much as I enjoyed tempering your overinflated ego, we're nearing our destination, so I think I'll move on. The reason I need you walking and talking, Ash, is to test a hypothesis of mine. For that, I need you to finish what you were tasked to do. So first things first, here. He hands you a phone. The number has already been dialed. You hear the tone. Somebody picks up. Oh, it's Sophie. Who is this? It's me, Sophie. Ash, are you okay? They're fine and dandy. Kaiser, what are you doing on this line? What do you think? It's my phone your protege is using, so keep it snappy. Operating a secure network ain't cheap. Come on, Ash, spit it out. Well, my friend saved me from the SI, but Kaiser also saved me from the SI. Kaiser saved me from the Second Inquisition, Sophie. I only got out because of him. Your companions look at one another dejectedly. Sorry. I didn't mean to imply that you weren't also helpful. You were all helpful, but anyways. SI. That's what I feared. Listen, the plan. We need to do it tonight. We need to do it tonight. But if the Inquisition is involved and you broke out, they'll be looking for you, so we can't meet in public. I have a place in mind, but... Kaiser, are you still listening? Would I tell you if I wasn't? Ash, call this number from where you visited before we last spoke. I'll come pick you up. She hangs up. And that's that. Gotta tell you, kid, this entire conversation is my curiosity, alright? Is this my chance to prove myself? Let me answer that riddle. I think I've almost arrived at the answer. Sorry to spoil the fun, but I'll answer that particular riddle momentarily. Don't worry, doll. I can throw a few other ones your way after our mutual acquaintance continues with their night. If my intel is worth a damn, your next stop, Ash, is right about here. The car comes to a stop and the door opens. Outside you see the street leading to Solids and Stripes. Torque's Pool Pub. Well, actually, I was at the hotel meeting with Frank before I saw Sophie last, but whatever, it's fine. Well, you need me to kick you out? What about D'Angelo and Hope? What about them? They're staying right where they are, and we're going to have a little chat. After we're done, I'm sure they'll find their way back to their havens just fine. The clock is ticking. I think I know what Sophie wants you to do tonight, and if I'm right, tonight's the last chance you've got. If you want to say bye to your buddies before you go, that's fine by me, but that schedule of yours is pretty hectic, so you better do it now and scram. You thank both of your companions for their assistance. Without them, you wouldn't be here now. Kaiser makes a gagging gesture and urges you to step out of the car. I have this horrible feeling that that's the last time I'm going to see either of them. Something so weird about the Inquisition thing, though, in terms of the messy or contradictory metaphors, though. Like, yeah, they are a religious group hunting out a certain group, but these vampires are not oppressed like Muslims and Jews were by the Inquisition. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think it's interesting how vampires are almost always constructed as an oppressed group in media, because, like, there's something to that with, like, through coding and also through, like, the material consequences of being different and being ostracized and having people fear you and, like, having to leave your old life behind and all that stuff and not being able to, like, work necessarily or, like, live a traditional life because on paper you're dead, so you would kind of have to fake that and probably get, like, a fake ID or something. And so, yeah, there's that, but, like, and then there's also, like, the metaphors about, like, the queer coding of vampires and, like, the other ways that they sometimes relate to, like, other, like, marginalized groups are used as, like, a metaphor to stand in for other marginalized groups. But, like, on paper, it 1000% makes sense that there are people hunting down vampires because they are killers. Like, they do kill people, and even the ones who, like, don't kill to feed, they are still, like, attacking people without their consent and feeding off of them. Like, they are dangerous. And a lot of them don't have a lot of consideration for human life. So, like, it's kind of understandable a bit that, like, someone would, like, build, like, a task force to try and, like, get rid of vampires. Yeah, I can't really blame them for hunting them in terms of narrative logic. Like, they suck, yeah. And they are the ruling class more so, though. Yeah, that's true. They 100%. They are 100% like a stand-in for, like, the ruling class, or they are part of the ruling class in Vampire the Masquerade lore. And now that I'm saying this, like, I'm remembering, I was thinking about this the other day, like, there aren't really very many examples of, like, working class or poor vampires in fiction. Like, I think the only thing I can think of, not to make an Angel the series reference, is how, like, when Angel is, like, getting together his gang and they're doing, like, Angel investigations, which is basically, like, solving, like, supernatural shit from, like, a PI perspective and, like, investigating people's problems that are probably, like, have to do with the supernatural world and, like, all of that stuff. But they are also, like, charging money for it because, like, they need money to, like, make rent. And, like, the humans need money for food if they're going to be working for Angel. So, yeah, so they are, like, charging money. And then they go through various bouts of, like, being very poor and, like, almost, like, facing eviction and, like, having no clients and, like, trying to, like, make money, basically, and, like, dealing with, like, capitalism and shit, which is interesting, because I think that's, like, the closest I've ever really seen, like, a vampire to, like, struggling to, like, make money, or, like, having to worry about money in any sense. So it feels a bit like, okay, go off, sad Catholics, you have a point, yeah. I think, like, they just have such, like, like, militant, like, connotation, like, they're giving FBI, they're giving cop, they're giving, like, US military a bit, so, like, it makes it hard to stand them. Also, like, it's funny how, like, when you play as a character, or when you play, like, from the perspective of a character, and you're, like, it's from, like, the vampire's POV, right? It makes you want to sympathize with them, it makes you want to side with them, just because you're, like, seeing things from their perspective. But yeah, like, with that being said, like, you still recognize that, like, these are kind of shitty people. Yeah, I think I talked about this a bit in my vampire video, but they are very much associated with the European aristocracy, yeah. And then variants of the ruling class since then. Yeah, absolutely. You turn around and make your way through the bar. The door closes behind you, and Kaiser's limo starts moving again. You hope your companions won't have to pay too high of a price for help. The Solids and Stripes is pretty much abandoned tonight, with only the bartender and one blurry-eyed local watching an old Bogart movie on the bar screen. You ask to use the phone and call Sophie first. Yes? I'm at the bar. Good, we'll be there in 15 minutes. If Torque's not there, notify him. We need to move, and fast. She hangs up. You tell the bartender to notify Torque, just like the Anarch leader mentioned you should. The man makes a short call. You only hear somebody picking up, but no words exchanged. The owner's on his way right now. Can I get you anything while you're waiting? Do I want to risk the masquerade by asking for blood? Probably a bad idea. No thanks. The bartender nods politely and gets back to his business. Torque comes in some 10 minutes later. Without Mia, he tips his hat to you, puts a hand on the blue-eyed patron's shoulder, and says something to him under his breath. They both laugh. Marty, how's the night going? Quiet, sir. Just how you like it, huh? Well, Ash, I do believe you wanted me here for a reason. Let's hear it. You're about to tell him what brought you here when the doors to the bar open and Sophie walks in, all splendor and charisma. The patron's eyes are now glued to her, and so are the bartenders. Torque isn't happy with the sight. Well, this isn't what we agreed on, Ash. Care to explain? Things got complicated. We had to improvise. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I believe Ash already told you why I'm here? Not in any detail. The circumstances of our meeting were supposed to be different. So, Miss Langley, tell me why I shouldn't ask you to leave and kick out your protege while I'm at it. You will like what I have to say. Yeah, I've heard that line 100 times, but 99 of those ended with somebody getting hurt, and that's not something I'm in the mood for tonight. We're wasting time. There is a unique opportunity we should take advantage of, and we only have an hour or so to discuss it before it will be time to act. My driver is waiting outside. Wait a goddamn minute. First of all, I'm not going anywhere without Mia. That was the deal. Second, it's Ash who was supposed to do the driving, not your servant. Both serve me, so it's really a little difference. The circumstances have changed and we have to adapt. Don't be stubborn. Foolishness does not suit you. I have a secure spot in mind where we can talk. I'll stop you right there. Torque is seething, but he's keeping a lid on his anger. His voice barely changes. My conditions were clear. The way I hear it, you want to break each one of them. I see no reason at all to agree to any of this. I believe I will be staying put tonight. You have places to be, yes? I mean, I completely understand why he doesn't want to get in some random car with some random person driving it and be taken to a secondary location. Torque, you're throwing away the only chance you have at challenging Callahan. Don't be a fool. The lid comes off. Call me a fool one more time, woman, and that's not the only thing I'm going to be throwing. Sophie, Torque's right. This does sound like a setup. I wouldn't trust you either in this situation. You... Oh, she slaps you, fast, hard. The sound reverberates in the mostly empty bar. Torque smiles. So yeah, that's the cam in a nutshell. You obey them to the letter, all but put you in your place. It's Sophie who's seething now. Oh, well, she's pissed at me now. Fine. Well, you want to be an asshole, then fine. I don't have any more time for this charade. Fine, stay here, both of you, if that's what you want to do. What was I thinking, risking my reputation for you, Ash? Shots break the front windows, and a flashbang goes off in the room, changing the bar into a space of white light and bringing noise. You feel somebody tugging at your back and are thrown behind the bar. More shots ring out, bottles break, the TV shatters into pieces, the wind bar splinters. Your sight comes back, but you think you've gone deaf because suddenly the room is silent. You see Torque beside you and Marty, the bartender, bleeding out on the floor. You look over the bar. Sophie is standing there, her dress partially tattered, a visible hole in her leg. She is like the heart of a supernova, entrancing, unavoidable, beautiful, and terrifying. In front of her are 8 operatives, looking like a private military force, just standing there, paralyzed by Sophie's magnificence. Torque, you still there? Yeah. Would you kindly show your guests some hospitality? Sure thing. The Anarch is gone in the blink of an eye, and he reappears next to one of the soldiers. The armor-clad operative's head disappears in a puff of blood and bone. Yikes. The same thing happens to the second, the third. You hear the radios go off on the other soldier's shoulders, a panicked voice pleading them to wake up. The fourth head pops, the fifth. They finally realize what's happening, but it's too late. The sixth man is beheaded by what you now see as Torque's bare-fisted punch. Torque stops by the seventh man, rips something off his neck, and bites down. Sophie walks over to the last man and has him kneel in front of her before biting as well. On your right, a man in body armor emerges from the back door, raising his assault rifle. What the fuck? Celerity, disarm the soldier. With a rush of speed, you take hold of the soldier's gun. He is too surprised to hold on to it. You turn it on him and shout the first thing that comes to your mind. On the ground now. A combat knife crashes through the soldier's visor and into his skull. You turn around, Torque is grinning. He mouths something under his breath. You can hear the exact words. Still got it. Langley? Sophie wipes her mouth of blood and looks at him. Is that meeting still in Ireland? Yes. I'll take it. Splendid. Torque walks behind the bar and checks on the bartender. You see the Anarch open his own wrist and feed blood to the wounded man. Drink up, Marty. It'll make you feel better. Get the hell out of here and wait for Mia. She's coming and she'll know what to do. Torque? Yeah, coming. Take the back door, Ash. Come on. You slink back into an alley behind the bar, leaving 10 bodies and one grievously wounded ghoul behind. Nobody stops you from circling around the block and finding your way to Sophie's car. Gregory drives away casually, as if this was just another late-night drive, not the crowning of a desperate, complicated evening. The sense of irony is just overwhelming. The place where Sophie brought Torque turns out to be the very same apartment in which you were embraced. The way she explains it, the vampire who owned it left the city a few years ago and gave away spare keys to a few trusted compatriots. It's been used sporadically ever since. Fancy. You like it? It always felt too modern for my tastes, but what's important is that it's secure. As long as nobody followed your car here, or the fledgling. Trouble follows this one wherever they go. Even if that's the case, we have very little time to conduct our business here anyway, and we'll be leaving soon, I hope. So let's begin. I might as well just stay silent. You look at Sophie, excited. Finally, you will learn what it is that you've been working towards for more than a week, and what it is that Kaiser wanted you to participate in. I have it on good authority that Boss Callahan is bloodbound to Prince Panhard. Bloodbound? What does that mean? Torque sucks air in loudly. I forget what bloodbound means. It's probably in the dictionary. Bloodbond, there we go. A mystically enforced relationship between a vampire and another mortal or kindred. Drinking the blood of a vampire directly from the vein 3 times creates an intense loyalty in the drinker, resembling infatuation or obsession. The bond loses its grip with time, but is reinforced by repeated drinks from the donor vampire. Okay, so one of them is drinking the other one's blood, and is therefore, like, intensely loyal and obsessed. That's an accusation and a half there, Langley. Got proof? No, but we're just a boat ride away from getting it. What's that supposed to mean? Ash, the address I procured from Kaiser was the meeting spot for Panhard and the Baron's regular sharing of blood, and other bodily fluids if the rumors are true. Ew! Ugh. Wait, Kaiser knew about this? Is there anything that insufferable clump of dead skin doesn't know in this city? He knows things, but only shares them if you pay. Neither the prince nor Callahan can touch him. He's too useful. Kaiser said saving me was in his interest. Kaiser said something about having plans for me, that he wanted to make this meeting happen. That can't be good, right? That is an interesting point. I think Kaiser might be as interested in shaking up the status quo as we are. A chaotic landscape makes for a great market for him, unlike a static one. I don't like playing into that creep's hands, but at least now I know I'm doing it. The devil you know and all that. What was that address he gave you? They meet regularly on Ellis Island. In fact, their next scheduled meeting starts in just around half an hour. Hot damn. I'm guessing you want to crash that meeting? Why? So you can see the proof for yourself. So that I can make sure, too. And so that I have an extra pair of eyes for Panhard to consider when I present her my ultimatum. The prince must abandon her seat and leave New York City. She can go wherever she pleases, but if she stays, the entire court will know, and the next prince might not look favorably on her past. Dealing with Anarchs, especially so closely, is a punishable offense in the Camarilla, as I'm sure you've heard. So I did. Torque strokes his beard and looks intently at Sophie. What exactly are you trying to accomplish here? Say you remove Panhard, and I even remove Callahan, then what? Torque, did you ever wonder why Callahan is keeping you in check? Because I wondered why the prince condemns Anarchs during her visits to the Elysium, but doesn't allow the Ivory Tower to challenge you. She, or they, have engineered the status quo not for the good of their sex, but for private gain. They keep us all in line because it lets them hold on to power that much longer. And your goal is what? Make this Cold War turn hot? Not a great plan. You cammies will get your butts kicked out of New York City in no time. If you Anarchs manage to organize, which I doubt you will. At any rate, it's a risk I'm willing to take. I don't stand alone in this. This entire operation has been years in the making. Torg, I'm offering you a chance to square things with Callahan and level the playing field. If we get rid of these two, we can start on equal footing at the next stage of this dance macabre. Aren't you copying the same status quo? That's a good point. But how do I factor into this plan is also a good question. Do I factor into this plan at all? Yes. We'll be taking you with us to Ellis Island, both as another set of eyes to witness the Prince and Baron in the act, and as a bit of added security. I don't think Helene or Callahan would dare to lay a finger on me, but they will not find me unprepared. You know, after all those years spent in Callahan's shadow and taking part in all the kindred dick measuring contests, I should expect a ruse. Some ploy to kill me in an out of the way place. That's our inherent paranoia talking. My gut tells me it's time to get the show started. I do hope you have a boat nearby, Langley. Sophie smiles mischievously. Of course I do. It's waiting for us by the pier. Lead the way then. Moonlight's burning. The three of you leave the apartment and walk towards the pier. Nobody seems to be following you. You get on a small patrol boat and double time it through the Hudson's cold, dark waters. Out of all the places in New York City where the Prince and the Baron could meet, and it's Ellis Island, a landmark with a dark past, a museum on one hand, a dilapidated piece of history on the other. You leave the boat and make your way to the southern part of the island, paying no heed to the renovated tourist attractions on the northern side. Interesting. I actually don't know what Ellis Island is, or if it's even a real place, or they just made it up for the game, but I want to look it up real quick. Ellis Island was one of the busiest immigrant inspection and processing station in the United States. Alright. Ellis Island is where famously there was an immigration processing center, I believe. People would be stuck there for ages. Yeah, I didn't know that. I've never heard of Ellis Island. That's interesting. You expected some resistance. A night guard, a helicopter flying overhead, maybe an NYPD patrol boat. Nothing. The island seems completely deserted. It's clear this sets Sophie on edge. She was moving as quietly and subtly as ever, but you can see that she's eager to reach the particular house her intel pointed out. Interesting that there would be a museum there. Like a tourist attraction museum now. But anyways. Torque is following suit, grimly determined, flashing his piercing gaze all over still clearly uncertain that this isn't some kind of con. Finally you see it, light coming from a window in one of the buildings at the edge of the island. The three of you slowly creep closer to the building and take a look inside the window. There it is, Callahan kneeling in front of the prince, sucking on Panhardt's wrist. Both fully clothed, a small blessing. The island at the base of the Statue of Liberty also processed immigrants for a while. Interesting. Did they put the Statue of Liberty there before or after? Torque makes his move, and before Sophie can stop him, he busts through the building's doors. Shit. It all happens very quickly. Torque grabs Callahan by the shoulders and throws him through the still open door. Callahan hits the ground hard. Torque appears on top of him and starts punching. You fucker. You piece of shit. I forgot what voice I was doing for Prince Panhard. I think I was doing like Sophie's voice, but a bit higher. Stop! Now America seems like it would like to demolish the statue and put up walls instead. I mean, like, arguably, like, I don't think America has ever been super friendly to immigrants, particularly like non-white immigrants. Not that I would know, but like, because I'm neither of those things. But like based on what I've heard and know of history, and then in Canada, there was like the like Chinese head tax. That was Canada, right? Yeah. Sometimes I get my Canadian and U.S. history mixed up because, like, you're always hearing about U.S. history because America is, like, the center of the universe. And other countries, too. Canada is getting hostile to immigrants now. Yeah. I mean, like, I would, like, point an arrow to my previous point. Well, a lot of this immigrant processing is a legacy of bureaucratic state looking for cheap labor and putting people through some kind of hell, too. Yeah. Yeah, like costing people a shit ton of money, or putting people through like a ridiculous long process and exploiting people for cheap labor. Yeah, it's just shit. It's shit. So depressing and stupid when xenophobia takes over. Yeah, isn't it just? There's a lot about Ellis's legacy, which is shitty. Immigration centers are horrible. Yeah, I can imagine. The prince's voice takes hold for just long enough to make Torque relent, which the Baron uses to the fullest. He shoves Torque off of himself and tries to bite down. Prince, call off your lapdog. Finally, what is the meaning of this? The two Anarchs break apart, both wounded, but neither is quite done yet. They look at one another with pure hatred. I read stories about how the immigration authorities refused to allow immigrants to use their own names because those names were too foreign. Yeah, I heard about that. People are also put in prisons and shit while they're being processed. Yeah. The authorities would give the immigrants joke names, which only later they found out were terrible names. And even now, immigrants are not encouraged to use their proper names in the spirit of assimilating into the new culture. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I think I did know about that. Yeah, it's fucking shitty. When you see how incredibly pervasive white supremacy and imperialism is, it's hard to believe. Yeah, almost hard to believe, but, like, when you see it, you can't unsee it, right? It permeates everything, every interaction. Yeah. That's why you gotta fight against it. What voice was I doing for Callahan again? I don't even remember. Now we're getting a genocide in Gaza because of it. Yeah. I mean, arguably this is just a continuation of what the Zionist project was always intended to be. Like, right from the very beginning, they wanted to colonize Palestine. They wanted all of it. Like, the UN partition plan may have, like, pretended that they were going to give some land to the Palestinians as, like, an official Palestinian state, but there's no way that they would have kept to that. They would have kept trying to take and take and take and take until there's nothing left. And we see now, like, that's what they're trying to do. Like, this ethnic cleansing, it's not about October 7th. It's not about hostages. It's about an ethnic cleansing and colonization. It's about stealing land because they want it. They want all of it. Kill the bitch, Helene, but leave the fledgling to me. Right after I deal with this shit stain, I'm gonna... A shrill, unpleasant laugh fills the air. You know who it belongs to. What? Who the hell is this man? I don't recognize him. I swear I've never seen him before. But the laugh is familiar, according to my character. Thomas Arturo. I don't remember who this man is. So entertaining, truly. It feels almost a shame to break up the spectacle, but alas. Thomas? Who the fuck is this joker? Yes, I don't think we have met, though I did hear a lot about you, Mr. Tor. My name is Thomas Arturo, and I... Callahan uses this moment of uncertainty to strike. He's still too slow for Torg, who throws the boss onto the lawn where the two exchange blows once again. Helene, if you'd be so kind as to ask your friend not to hurt our guest too much. Callahan, don't kill him. This time Callahan comes out on top and grabs Torg in an iron hold. Your companion struggles, but can't quite break away. I will not be denied, Helene, not this time. You will do as I command. And she will do as I command her, Douglas, old boy. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, okay. This is just getting, okay. What? Like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I feel like I need to break up this little spectacle. It's been going on for much too long. You think you're so smart lately, you and your clique. Figured out that there was something fishy going on all on your own, but you were always working with just a piece of the puzzle. Wasn't she, Ash? What? What did I do? I didn't do anything. Sophie looks too shocked and disappointed. I don't know what... Oh my god. What I'm talking about? Of course you don't. Of course. How could you? Only I knew. And your sire. They're the one who agreed to embrace you after some negotiations. You hear a scream and a curse. It's Callahan, whose arm has been nearly ripped off of his body. Torque breaks out of the Baron's grasp, but doesn't continue the attack. Instead, he's at the edge of the water in the blink of an eye and disappears into the Hudson. The only trace left of him is his fedora. Another actor going off script at the very end, eh? No matter, let him bring us some amusement now that the production is almost wrapped up. He'll reach his allies. He'll tell everyone of this. Helene, even if we naively assume his nights aren't numbered now that he's in the SI's sights, the show must go on one way or another. Won't hurt to encourage leaks and speculation. Sophie looks at you. Well, I didn't do anything. She says, how could you, Ash? I saved you. Arturo suddenly appears next to her and slaps her in the face. Langley. What happened to your self-esteem? You can't really think a simple neonate has outplayed you. Or maybe this oblivious act is your way of groveling for mercy. Thomas, what? You thought that being an expert chess player would always be enough. You never realized The people at the top simply flip the chessboard over and punch you in the face whenever they don't like how the game is going. He motions to the remaining kindred. Oh boy. But the thing is, you weren't even adept at playing the game you knew, Ash. Just another pawn, placed on the board by my associate. You thought they were your piece since you took them in, but who gave you that idea? Return to the night where you were judged by Prince Panhard, the woman in red, Sophie. Somebody speaking to her, a man in glasses, the man standing before you now. Oh, it was his idea to save Ash. This is cruel. We know what's going to happen. If only somebody would speak up for the poor child. They could be a useful tool for the Camarilla. Terror creeps onto Sophie's face. Of course, those were not the words you heard, were they? No. You were already grasping for some opportunity to further your scheme. I had put the bait out, and you took it, hook, line, and sinker. After that, it was only a matter of time before you started using Ash as your errand boy. No one is quite as easy to track and monitor as a naive fledgling who's just learning the ropes. What is it that you want, Thomas? What do I want? Oh boy, the answer is so simple, but so hard to put into words. Unstable stability. Cutting-edge tales of thrills and intrigue that push it to the limit, and then return you to the tried and tested status quo gently, infallibly. A system full of distractingly moving parts which simulate conflict so convincingly that its users never feel a need to direct their energy towards upsetting a system. Achieving the eternal through the disposable. Building a city that's like the ship of Theseus, constantly changing its parts, yet always maintaining the same purpose, serving the same goal at all times. God, this guy loves to hear himself talk, huh? This pretentious little shit. Like, are we gonna wrap this up soon? A large-scale infrastructure that has something like an exhaust system for the spirit. Something that disperses the toxicity around instead of concentrating it in a single place. None of what you're saying makes the slightest bit of sense. Arturo is momentarily stopped in his tracks. He stares into the sky for a few seconds before a sad grin appears on his face. Spoken like someone who's never really had what it takes to make it in the big leagues. With a theatrical snap of fingers, he gives his last sentence a sense of finality. Something's changed in the air. A woman's shape slinks behind Sophie's back. Goodbye, Sophie. Oh my god, a person appears behind Sophie. You can't believe your eyes. It's Adelaide Davis, holding garden shears in her hands. Fucking Christ alive, Adelaide. Gives you the benefit of the doubt, and this is what happens. I worry if I try and push Sophie out of the way, I'm gonna get fucking beheaded. But we'll see how this goes. Celerity, push Sophie out of the way. You take off and run towards Sophie. You only take a few steps before a figure blinks right next to you and pushes you away. Arturo. You hear the shears snip. Oh god. I wonder if there's a way I could have saved her there. Sophie's red hair conceals her face as her head falls, separated from her shoulders. Silence. Arturo's unpleasant laughter erupts right next to you. Oh, Ash, your career is moving at a breakneck pace, moving up and up and up. Let me congratulate you on your promotion. What do you want from me? What's the rush? I was about to get to that. Aileen, feel free to leave us and take the Baron with you. Thomas, I don't think you should. Shush, you're just being jealous. Adelaide, escort the prince and dear old Douglas, please. Sure thing, darling. You're left alone next to Sophie's body. You try not to look, but it's hard to ignore her lithe frame decomposing in front of your eyes. Congratulations, you've won this little game. You've set out on a suicide mission and successfully brought down the power-hungry wannabe tyrant. Even if it probably wasn't the way you imagined it. Now you're free to enjoy paradise again. Life after death, immortality, eternal youth. What they don't tell you is, of course, living in paradise is inherently sinful when not everyone can partake. But you have time to learn how to live with sin, don't you? He takes a melancholic look at the city skyline surrounding him, the Statue of Liberty and the lights of Manhattan shimmering in the distance. You know, New York taught me to believe in fate. My unlife began right here. It began with utter despair. My first instinct was to drown myself in books and keep reading and reading until literature gave me the piece of wisdom I needed to go on. Personally, I find reading a silly hobby in retrospect. God, he's still talking. I always had this minuscule hope that the next sentence I'd read could finally bring me salvation, but it never did. It only gave me fuel for this elevated, righteous, intellectual suffering. But the more I read, the easier it was for me to boil every paragraph down to a power relationship. The characters' influence over each other, the writer trying to impress the reader, etc. The strings everyone pulls started to look like strands that weave into the fabric of fate. And once I saw its beauty, I got teary-eyed. My architect instincts kicked into overdrive. I didn't have to submit to fate. All I had to do was cooperate with it and wait for my time to shine. Give it my input wherever needed until it trusted me to do more. Thomas steps over what's left of Sophie, wiping his glasses with an elegant cloth from his pocket. And it did. Fate let me look after the city. With my architect's tools, I started quietly shaping the streets and corridors, while Kaiser and his ilk shaped the information flow. And among many tools this process gave me, one of them was a way to reliably come up with useful agents like you. The methods I used were crude at times, but the root was there. All you had to do was follow it. Some people write rulebook passages, the others plan city arteries. In the end, the effect is the same. Someone always follows. He puts on the glasses and gives you a long, hard look. You know, I have grown fond of you. You did so well, even when that idiot Callahan tipped the Inquisition off. You still got out. I like that kind of resourcefulness. I could use that kind of resourcefulness. He uncovers his wrist. Oh, absolutely the fuck not. So take my blood, just enough so we can start off on the right foot as a sign of good faith. A sign that you're ready to play in the big leagues, ready to behold the sights I've prepared for you. What do you say, Ash? Oh, we don't even get a choice? Damn. Well, that ending was kind of bleak. I wonder if I could have done things differently. All right. I think that's it. That's it for today. We finished Coteries of New York. I had a really good time with this. I'm definitely gonna play more. I'm definitely gonna play more on my own time, but this is it as far as streaming it goes. But yeah, I had a really fun time with this, and I had a really fun time dressing up and doing all my like makeup looks and stuff for these streams. I really do love Vampire the Masquerade. I'm a huge fan, and I definitely want to play more Vampire the Masquerade games, potentially on stream, but that'll be like a thing for another time. So yeah, thanks to everyone who came by and watched the stream. I appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who might be watching the VOD afterwards. Thanks to everyone who might be watching this on YouTube later on when I finally post it on YouTube. I hope you're having a very good time zone wherever you may be. And I will see y'all in the next one.